Exactly 6 a.m., Ethan Cross arrived at the police station. A black envelope was waiting on his desk. Inside was a photograph of a young boy named Noah Carter, age 12. Below his photograph, he knows what happens tomorrow. And beneath it, by tomorrow night, he will know who dies next. Ethan stared at the photograph. This time, the black file wasn't predicting a murder, it was predicting a witness. Police located Noah at his school. Ethan sat across from him. Who told you about tomorrow? Noah looked at him calmly. No one. I just remember it. Ethan frowned. How can you remember something that hasn't happened? Noah answered, because tomorrow already happened to me. Noah took a piece of paper without hesitation. He wrote tomorrow. 8:15 a.m. A red car will crash outside Central Station. Ethan checked the time. It was already 7:50 a.m. They rushed to Central Station. At exactly 8:15 a.m., a red car suddenly lost control. It crashed into a barrier outside the station. Police rushed toward the vehicle. The driver was alive. Ethan looked at Noah. The boy hadn't guessed he had known. Ethan brought Noah back to the station. Tell me what happens next. Noah hesitated, then he wrote 12:40 p.m. A police officer will disappear. Ethan's expression changed. Who? Noah looked directly at him. I don't know. Tomorrow doesn't show me everything. Maya examined Noah's handwriting. She compared it with the black file documents. Her face suddenly changed. The handwriting matches. Ethan asked whose. Maya slowly answered Aaron Blake. Maya searched the police archives. She found an old photograph of Aaron Blake. Standing beside him was a young boy. Ethan zoomed in. The boy looked exactly like Noah, but the photograph was 20 years old. Ethan confronted Noah. How old were you in this photograph? Noah looked confused. I don't remember. Then he suddenly whispered, I remember Aaron. What did he tell you? Noah's face became frightened. He told me, never trust the man who carries the black file. Before Ethan could ask another question, the lights flickered. A black envelope appeared beneath the interrogation room door. No one had entered. No one had left. Ethan slowly picked it up. Inside, a photograph of Noah, but the photograph showed him standing in a courtroom. Ethan turned the photograph over. A message was written on the back. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. The boy will identify the killer. Then a second line appeared, but the killer will be standing beside him. Ethan slowly looked at Noah. Someone inside the police station was already part of the plan. Ethan immediately ordered the station to be locked down. No one could leave. Every officer was questioned. Noah sat quietly in the corner. Then he looked at one officer and whispered, that's him. Ethan turned. Who? Noah pointed toward the security room. The man who kills tomorrow. The officer was identified as Daniel Hayes. He had worked with the department for 12 years. Perfect record, no complaints, no criminal history. Ethan asked Noah, are you sure? Noah nodded. I saw him tomorrow. Maya checked the security cameras at 9:03 p.m. Tomorrow, the footage showed Daniel Hayes walking through a dark corridor, but the timestamp was impossible. The recording had been created 24 hours before the event. Maya whispered, someone is sending footage from tomorrow. Noah suddenly grabbed Ethan's hand. I remember the room. What room? Room 307. Ethan froze again. Room 307, the same room connected to the black file. Noah continued, someone dies there tomorrow. Ethan and Maya rushed to the old building. Room 307 was abandoned. The door was locked. Inside, there was only a chair, a table, and an old television. The television suddenly switched on. No signal. Then Noah appeared on the screen. The recording showed Noah sitting in the same room, but Noah was older, much older. He looked directly into the camera. If you're watching this, don't trust Ethan. The screen went black. Ethan stared at the television. Noah whispered, that's not me. Lucas searched the room behind the television. He found a tiny hidden camera. It was connected to a remote server. The camera had been recording room 307 for 20 years. Someone had been watching the room since Aaron Blake disappeared. Maya searched Noah's records again. Something was wrong. His birth certificate didn't exist. His school records had been created only 6 months ago. Even his mother's identity was fake. Ethan looked at Noah. Who are you? Noah answered quietly, I don't know. Ethan opened the new black file. Inside, a photograph of Noah as a baby. Behind him stood Aaron Blake. The date was 20 years ago. Maya looked at Ethan. That means Noah isn't 12. Ethan whispered, then how old is he? Noah suddenly began screaming. Fragments of memories returned. A laboratory, a machine, Aaron Blake, the man in the black coat, and a clock frozen at 8 p.m. Noah looked at Ethan with tears in his eyes. I remember now. Ethan asked what? Noah whispered, I was the first person they erased. Noah sat completely still. His eyes were closed. Then he whispered, I wasn't born 12 years ago. Ethan looked at Maya. Noah continued, they created me. They gave me memories. And then, they erased them. Noah remembered a hidden laboratory. Rows of children sat inside strange medical chairs. Machines surrounded them. A digital clock displayed 8 p.m. Aaron Blake was standing behind the glass. He looked terrified. Noah remembered a scientist saying, tomorrow must be predictable. Someone needs to see it before it happens. The scientist looked toward Noah. You will be our first successful subject. Noah screamed, then the memory disappeared. Maya asked Noah, how can you remember tomorrow? Noah answered, I don't see the future. I remember it. Every night. I wake up with memories of the next day. Ethan realized the horrifying truth. Noah wasn't predicting tomorrow. He was living it before everyone else. Noah suddenly looked terrified. What did you see tomorrow? Ethan asked. Noah whispered, at 9 p.m. Someone will be murdered in room 307. Daniel Hayes will be there. But he isn't the killer. Ethan asked, then who kills the victim? Noah closed his eyes. I couldn't see his face. But I saw his hand. A silver ring, the same symbol the man in the black coat. Suddenly Captain Ross entered the room. Everyone turned toward him. He looked at Noah for several seconds. He said nothing. Then Noah whispered, you're not supposed to be here. Ross looked shocked. How do you know me? Noah answered, I saw you tomorrow. Maya received an encrypted message. It contained only one image, a photograph of room 307. Timestamp tomorrow. 8:59 p.m. Someone was already standing inside. Maya zoomed in. The figure was Ethan. Ethan stared at the photograph. If I'm there tomorrow, then I know the murder will happen. Noah shook his head. You don't understand. The photograph isn't showing what will happen. It's showing what they want you to do. Ethan slowly realized the black file was manipulating his decisions. At exactly midnight, every phone inside the station received the same message. Tomorrow has already begun. Noah suddenly collapsed. When he opened his eyes, his voice had changed. He looked directly at Ethan and said, don't go to room 307. A pause then, unless you want to meet yourself. Ethan decided to ignore Noah's warning. At exactly 8:50 p.m., he entered room 307 alone. The room was empty. No furniture, no windows, only an old wall clock. It showed 8:59 p.m. Ethan checked his watch. 8:59, then the door behind him locked. The lights suddenly flickered. A figure appeared at the end of the room. Ethan raised his weapon. The figure stepped forward. Same face, same clothes, same scar. It was Ethan himself. The second Ethan whispered, you're too late. The second Ethan looked exhausted. Blood covered his shirt. You have exactly 10 minutes. 10 minutes until they erase everything. Ethan asked, who are you? The other Ethan answered, I'm you. 1 hour from tomorrow. Suddenly the lights went out. A gunshot echoed the future. Ethan collapsed. When the lights returned, he was gone. Only blood remained on the floor. Ethan stared at the blood. Then he heard footsteps outside. Someone was coming. The door opened. Officer Daniel Hayes entered. He was holding a gun. Ethan immediately aimed at him. Drop it. Hayes slowly placed the weapon on the floor. I'm not the killer. I came here to stop you. Hayes revealed the truth. The black file had been manipulating Noah's memories. Every prediction, every warning was designed to push Ethan toward room 307. Hayes whispered, the boy isn't predicting tomorrow. Someone is programming his memories. Back at the police station, Noah suddenly remembered everything. Aaron Blake hadn't created the experiment. He had tried to destroy it. The real creator was the man in the black coat. And Noah wasn't his first experiment. There had been 307 children. Maya discovered a hidden photograph. It showed the 307 children. In the center stood Noah. Beside him, the man in the black coat. On the back of the photograph was written, Subject 307 survived. Below it, another sentence, the next subject is Ethan Cross. Ethan's face went pale. Ethan returned to his office. The black file was lying on his desk. He hadn't brought it there. The cover slowly opened by itself. A new page appeared. Subject 308 name. Ethan Cross memory extraction. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Ethan stepped backward. Then his phone rang. Noah was calling. His voice was terrified. Ethan, tomorrow, you're going to forget me. Ethan looked through the window across the street. The man in the black coat stood beneath a streetlight. He slowly removed his hat. For the first time, Ethan saw his face. Ethan froze because the face belonged to Captain Daniel Ross, the man who had supposedly disappeared. Ross smiled, then said from across the street, tomorrow belongs to me. The streetlight went out. Ross vanished. Ethan looked back at the black file. A final message appeared. The boy was never the target.